Hello and welcome to the Rhythm and Roots Show with Rohan and Al of the Dublin City Rounders, your weekly dose of ragtime, music hall, bluegrass, country blues, early jazz, western swing, and more. We got live sessions and interviews with guests local and around the world, recorded at Beardfire Studio, Dublin, Ireland. Be sure to like Rhythm and Roots on Facebook, catch up with the podcast on Spreaker.com, and don't forget you can become a Rhythm and Roots Patreon patron today. Now enjoy the show. Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're all very welcome to Rhythm and Roots again on this Friday afternoon on Near FM 90.3. I'm Rowan, and I'm joined, as usual, by Al.
Here I am.
There is Al joining me as usual. We've got a great show lined up for you good people today. Later in the show, we've got the wonderful Dean Maywood popping in for a chat on all things classic country and Americana, all the way down from Donegal. And he's performing two tunes. We're going to hear one of the tunes earlier in the show, and then we'll hear his latest single, No One and Lying, later in the program, just after our interview. As well as that, we've got new music from Grania Hunt, fresh from Nashville, and some new stuff from Skinner and T'witch from the UK. Always really enjoy hearing their new music. It's always fun. And, of course, all your favourite old-timey treats. So we're going to get started with a little bit of Carolina Tar Heels. This is Got the Farmland Blues.
Between 1 and 2, heard a chicken squalling down at my chicken roost. I rushed down there, was a little too late. I rushed down there, was a little too late. Thief had got my chickens and made his getaway. Went out to my corn crib, thought I'd get some corn. Went out to my corn crib, thought I'd get some corn. Thief had broke in my corn crib, took away every ear of my corn. Went to get my car, thought I'd go get the sheriff. Went to get my car, thought I'd go get the sheriff. Thief had took every tire right off of my car. Hard luck. Well, along come a storm, tore down my corn. Along come a storm, down my corn, while the bean beetle in the bean patch eating up the beans. Boll weevil in the cotton, he's tying up the bolls. Got the farmland blues, got the farmland blues right now. Got the farmland blues, got the farmland blues right now. Not another fur, will I plow. Gonna sell my farm, gonna move to town. Gonna sell my farm, gonna move to town. Got the farmland blues right now.
Eliza, listen to me. You're not the gal that you promised to be. Didn't you say you'd always be true? You went out driving Mr. Brown. I'm the laughing stock of the town. People said to never trust you. Throw up your hand, baby, I'm gonna go. I was the good man while I had to go. So it's goodbye, Miss Liza. I'm going to leave you. You know, and I go. I'm the fella with a do-do-do. So sing a little song. Travel along, yes, travel along. Bid you good day, babe, I'm on the way. Goodbye, sweet Liza Jane. Give me here my gold watch and chain. Give me the umbrella fitted my rain. Give me the clothes that I paid for too. Dive in the trunk and hand me them things. Give me here my diamond ring and get Mr. Brown to dress you all up new. Throw up your hand, babe, I'm gonna go. I was the good man while I had to do. So it's goodbye, sweet Liza. I'm going to leave you. You know when I go, I'm the fella with a do-do-do. So sing a little song, travel along, yes, travel along. Bid you good day, babe, I'm on the way. Goodbye, sweet Liza Jane. So it's goodbye, sweet Liza, I'm going to leave you. You know when I go, I'm the fella with a do-do-do. So sing a little song, travel along, yes, travel along. Bid you good day, babe, I'm on the way. Goodbye, sweet Liza Jane.
Charlie Poole there and the Carolina Ramblers with a wonderful old rendition of Goodbye Sweet Liza Jane, old ragtime song that they had adapted into, I guess, folk tune with a banjo or something like that. Next up, we're going to have a little listen to some brand new music from RUNAH. RUNAH has put out her debut album. It came out just last Sunday, I believe.
Yes, it was. And
Sunday
we've got
the
it
5th,
right here.
5th of May, yeah.
This is what it sounds like.
That's Alex slapping and rubbing the CD. No, that's not working.
ASMR. Wow, that really doesn't make it sound.
Alex tried to rub the CD on the microphone.
Anyway, that's what it sounds like.
It didn't make much noise at all. Al, do you want to tell the people some of the things that are on the song that they're about to hear? This is
yes.
One of the interesting...
Here are the credits.
Well, hold on. Don't read out the whole credits. Just let me introduce this briefly. So on the credits of the record, a lot of interesting instruments and things that aren't instruments were used to create the sounds on the album. Strange. Mm-hmm. The name of the album is Strange. And we're going to have a little listen to a single that was released along with the album. The song's called The Witch. And let's have a little listen to some of the instruments performed on this single. On
this track, we've got pool table stomping, Krishna bells, meditation bowls, and the talented Sienna Franklin Miller playing the shaker.
Playing the shaker, of all things. So pool table stomping, Krishna bells, bowls, meditation bowls, and shaker, among other things. Yes, we have played, I think, so a lot of the other singles leading up to this one. We played, what was the first one? Ground. Shame, and... what was the third one? Strange. The music video, of course, for Strange coming out on the 17th of May, created by RUNAH herself, along with Robert Montgomery, celebrated young filmmaker. There was a live launch show on Saturday the 4th at the Art Cafe, but there's a really cool event that she's putting on the 10th of May. Want to come and be initiated into the world of Strange. Her post reads, she's running a candlelit ceremony evening on the 10th of May at the Yoga Nest in Kilcool from 8 till 10 p.m. So basically you're talking some spoken word, some yoga, and some music, of course, and an exploration.
Not necessarily at the same time.
Or in that
but
order.
Possibly.
Earmilk has said of the record, the search for the spiritually divine has long been pursued by artists of all mediums, though none have done it as robustly and attractively as Ireland's rising folk pop artist RUNAH. Absolutely wonderful. So listen.
Not one of them.
Not one of them. Do enjoy The Witch from Strange and check it out. It's available now.
She has a lover that says her name, talks in the tongue of love and she can't explain how she crazy, how she bathes in it. Oh, she's never had a lover that said her name before. The way it drips from her lips, it's like she's never heard her name sound like a song, and she craves it. Oh, she has woken the witch. She's becoming. She has woken the witch. 'Cause now she has a lover that's with her all the time. Her body spills into dances, a poetry of lines. And she finds and she finds and she finds her body's creeping into the wild. Oh, she She's woken the witch. Her body is creeping into the wild, and she'll find it somewhere beside the sea, on the forest floor between the leaves. She will crave, she will crave, she will crave it. She'll bathe in it. She'll crave it. Oh, she has woken the witch. She's becoming. She has woken the witch. She's woken the witch. She's woken the witch. Woken the witch.
Went to the wall when the war began. Mona was a desperate man. Take a long ways and forgetting and gun. Gonna have a bunch of fun. About that time as a cannonball, you know, zoom around my head, to the round and around and around and around. To the captain I said, Captain wanted to show me the way to go home. I don't want to have to fight. So the bleed in my soul, I got the heart disease. I don't feel just right. I don't want to die so far away from home. People all away and home. Will you write me out a pension for the rest of my days? Show me the way to go home.
to go home. I don't wanna have to fight. Since the bleed to my soul, I got the heart disease. I don't feel just right. I don't wanna die so far away from home. People all weep and moan. Won't you ride me out of pinch for the rest of my days? Show me the way to go home. Heart disease, I don't feel just right. I don't want to die so far away from home. People all weep and moan. We ride me out of pension for the rest of my days. Show me the way to go home.
That was the always wonderful Darby and Tarleton there with Captain Won't You Let Me Go Home. Next up, we've got a little bit of Skinner and T'witch from over in the UK. We've played a number of their songs on the show before, and this one is quite funny, quite excellent. It's in the tradition of the kind of music hall style. Very timely. It's a song, kind of a parody song called What We Need's Another Royal Baby, and it's quite funny. So without too much further ado, do get online to find Skinner and T'witch. They're absolutely wonderful. And this is Skinner and T'witch with What We Need's Another Royal Baby.
What we need's another royal baby.
Yet another nipper to adore.
Now the urban unemployed will be soothed and overjoyed if the patter of tiny feet is heard once more. What we need's another royal baby.
If possible by mid or early June.
For it's then they tend to riot, and to keep the cities quiet, we need to tour the infant fairly soon. For in these days of darkness and recession, living on the dole or dreary pay,
to alleviate your feelings of aggression, the state can help you dream your lives away. So
what we need's another royal baby, a bouncing boy or girl to save the day. What we need's another royal baby,
with romantic and hygienic pictures, please.
Those celebrities are fun, really royals are the one
to steer us through the gossip and the sleaze.
Nearly every night the news pursues you, escorting your excursions far and wide. As a befriending ending items they will use you to keep the sad consumer satisfied with stories such as,
now Charles is in Bermuda, but he's feeling rather tired, for the air is terribly moist in May and has made the prince perspire. Anne went out riding to exercise her horse and accidentally crushed a corgi halfway round the course.
Will Edward go out shooting, leaving Sophie sad inside?
And when will all those cousins settle down and take a bride?
'Cause what we need's another royal baby. Don't delay in keeping us well supplied. Yes, what we need's another royal baby.
Now the nation's spitting with the strain.
Now that Brexit's such a bore and we're running out of wars, it's time for births and weddings once again.
So come, you princes, dukes and lords and ladies, you must take a holiday or two. With champagne to inspire, take your clothes off and retire. By pushing hard, you'll probably pull us through. 'Cause
then we have a million royal babies. The press and politicians can take control. So let's thank the heads of state for their reproductive rate and their tranquilizing role.
Britannia.
Their tranquilizing role.
One more time.
the tranquilizing road.
God save the Queen.
That's me.
I hear the sad howling of coyotes prowling. It sounds so mournful to me. It brings back memories of cherished loved ones, the ones I'm longing to see. I'm riding along out on the lone prairie. The rangers are searching for me. I'm riding away from my home in Texas, a fugitive ever to be. I had a good mother, I had a good father. They handed a warning to me. The men that I ran with committed a murder and laid the blame on me. I'm riding along out on the lone prairie. The rangers are searching for me. I'm riding away from my home in Texas, a fugitive ever to be. Little maid, my sweetheart, I know she's lonely and longing for me to return. My happiness ended the night we parted, and now for her I yearn. I'm riding along out on the lone prairie. The rangers are searching for me. I'm riding away from my home in Texas, a fugitive ever to be. How lonely and dreary with nothing to cheer me, my thoughts go stealing back home. My life of sadness will never know gladness. I'm branded forever to roam. I'm riding along out on the lone prairie. The rangers are searching for me. I'm riding away from my home in Texas, a fugitive ever to be.
Delmore Brothers there with the Fugitive's Lament, and we finally heard the end of that song. I think last week.
It's been a long time.
Yeah, well, we played it at the end of the show, but there was only about 4 seconds left of the show, so we only had about 4 seconds of the song, which was a little odd. But we got some good closure there.
Yeah, it was a cliffhanger.
It was a cliffhanger. Next up, we're going to have a little listen to Dean Maywood. Dean Maywood, of course, joining us for the second part of the program, where we will be having a lovely little chat. He's got a record coming out very soon. It's going to be called Dean Maywood. It's a self-titled record.
I thought it was going to be called self-titled.
Oh, so funny, Al. So funny with the jokes. Yes. What?
Thank you.
Anytime, Al. So basically he put out the first single, Jane, a little while ago. We gave that a spin. I think that was back in February. Second single, Knowing and Lying. We gave that a spin too, and then he popped into the studio with us. Later in the show, we also did a live rendition of Knowing and Lying. But before all that, do enjoy this tune. This is the first of 2 live songs by Dean Maywood.
Bar on the corner sits a homecoming queen, the mill worker's daughter. She followed her dream. She picks out a number, throws back her drink. Jukebox takes over, the band counts her in, and she's dancing her best beers when she's dancing alone. The barroom may smell like stale beer and cologne as she sails across the floor like a bird through a storm. She's dancing like nobody's watching. Friday night at the drive-in, in the back of their cars, the boys they all tell her, baby, you be a star. But she's dancing her best when she's dancing alone. The barroom it smell like stale beer and cologne as she sails across the floor like a bird through a storm. She's dancing like nobody's watching. She's watching those movies on a cracked TV screen, the shoebox of memories, what could have been. She's still dancing her best when she's dancing alone. The barroom may smell like stale beer and cologne as she sails across the floor like a bird through a storm. She's dancing like nobody's watching. Yeah, she's dancing her best when she's dancing alone. The barroom may smell like stale beer and cologne as she sails across the floor like a bird through a storm. Dancing like nobody's watching. Yes, she's dancing like nobody's watching. Yes, she's dancing.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. You're all very welcome back to Rhythm and Roots on Near FM 90.3. This Friday evening, I have in studio with me Mr. Dean Maywood. You're very welcome.
Thanks for having me. Glad to be here.
Yeah, it's been a while coming. We've had a few false starts. And,
life got in the way.
That's it, man. Life sucks. We've got to get that life out of the way and make some time for music. But it's great. It's great that you finally made it down. One of the reasons as well, you're from Donegal. You're based in Donegal. Yeah. So it's not. Talking to you, it sounds like you've been just about nearly every corner of the country. You do a lot of driving, you do a lot of gigging around the place. So I walk everywhere. So thanks for coming, because I wasn't going to walk to Donegal to do this interview, unfortunately. It was almost worth it. But
it's totally worth it. It's totally.
Thanks for coming down. So I suppose people who would be listening to our show regularly would be fairly familiar with your tunes. Earlier in the year, you put out Jane, your track from the upcoming self-titled EP. That was the first single. That was the end of January, wasn't it?
That's the one.
And then in March, we had the new single, Knowing and Lying, which we're going to hear a live rendition of directly after this interview. So what's next?
Next, the major thing next is the EP launch, which is coming at the end of May. We've still put a definite date on that for when people can get the full EP. But there's going to be a full live gig. I've put together a band. I've been playing for 3 years on my own. So now we did the record, and I've got a band behind me to fill out all the thing. We've got steel guitar, we've got electric guitar, we've got backing vocals, we've got organs, we've got the whole lot. So it's going to be an extravaganza. So
I hope this better be being filmed as well, because
hopefully I've got a friend who does some video work, and he's like, "Yeah, I'll come over, I'll do it, man." So because we're going to do some Known and Lying in particular. Because that's such a stripped back version of a song. Just how the set was laying out, it's like we got too many slow songs to have a band here, so we did a full kicked up band version. It's sort of like prime Springsteen sort of Born to Run type stuff. It builds up quite nice, like, you know.
You got the saxophone player.
Yeah,
and comes in.
We're planning. The guy, the manager of the theatre, plays saxophone, and he's a good friend of mine. And I was like, "What's the chance you could walk on the middle and just give us your best impressions of Clarence?" Like,
yeah.
So he's like, "Yeah, sure." So we've been practicing with the band. No saxophone yet, so we don't know what it's going to sound like. It could come on and could be hit every bum note in the world, but we're looking forward to it. Like.
Listen, saxophone, it doesn't matter. It's all about that the ambience created.
Exactly.
So that's really interesting, and of course that EP launch is going to take place in your hometown in Donegal.
Yeah, 17th of May. That's the plan.
No, not anymore, is it?
The gig launch. So we're going to do the gig to launch the EP without actually physically releasing the music. So if you come to the gig, you'll get the EP before anybody else can get it.
Right, but didn't you say, are you sure you're doing it on the 17th of May?
I definitely am, because I said there's another band from Donegal who's bringing out their music, but they're quite big. They're a lot bigger than me.
Okay.
And they're doing their launch gig in Dublin, so it's...
Oh, the launch gig's in Dublin.
Yeah, but they're releasing their music on the same day as the launch gig, so they'll be on the platforms that day.
Yes,
so I didn't want to release mine on the platforms,
see what you're
you know.
Saying.
So I'll have the launch gig, and then the week later... you can get the music, but if you really...
So just to be clear, the launch gig is in Donegal on the 17th of May.
17th of May.
Beautiful. And you can go down and you can get a physical copy.
They'll get a physical copy, they can come and see me, and I'll give them a hug and a kiss and everything.
Oh, okay, excellent. Well,
that's a promise.
I might have to walk down for that one. But yeah, as you're saying, it'll be up on digital distribution. It'll be up on all the Spotify and everything a couple of weeks later or whatever. That's perfect. Well, that's great. And you've got music video ideas for a number of these tracks later on. The third single that's going to be. Do you want to talk a bit about the third single that's coming out?
We've had two singles. The third single is a track called Louisiana, which is going to come out. It's going to come out with the EP. Hopefully, that's the plan. If we can get a video done on time or whatever and that kind of stuff. But it's probably my favorite track on the EP. It's the one that when I've played it out, people have asked, where can I hear that one? You know, it's the one where people want to seek it out, and it's not there yet. So that's going to be the third single. It's a 5-track EP. And I've just decided I love every song so much. Each one of them's going to be a single. And that's just how it is.
They've all got to have a little life of their own.
Yeah, exactly. They're getting equal love.
Well, that's it. And look, you know the way it is now. It's from a purely business perspective as well. You know, the industry's so single driven, and it's a way for people to discover music. You know, so why the heck not have them out there in that way as well. One thing I was going to say with regard to the single, because obviously you've given us a little preview here in the studio. We have been privy to single number 3. It sounds fantastic. Because you know one of the things I think that sometimes, let's say alt country, Americana, whatever you want to call it, artists here in Ireland. There's obviously a thriving country music scene in Ireland. We've worked with a number of people in that as well. What have been the biggest kind of challenges in forging ahead? Because, I mean, for example, we hear things sometimes like, if you mention the word country, people have this kind of vision in their head.
It's a dirty word.
And it's like, you know, you're talking about Daniel O'Donnell, which I can't even... Sorry, Daniel, but I do not think of him when I think of country music, which is bizarre. But you know what I'm saying? There are challenges associated with this brand of darker country, more kind of, you know, John Prine, Graham Parsons, you know, these kind of these alternative side of it. How do you see yourself approaching a bigger audience or outside of Ireland? Do you have any ambition towards that kind of thing?
Of course, it would be great to, like, I think there's a lot more respect for, as you say, in Ireland, it's like anything that has the word country in it, people are like, ugh, unless and then they're like, oh no, I like country, and then they'll say, oh, I like wagon wheel, you know, and you're like, okay, right, and that's not what I do, you know. I'm like, you can't jive to my music. Well, maybe someone, but not really, like, you know, it's about darker, you know, there's stories of people getting killed and heartbreak and, you know, real things. But yeah, I think in England alone, like, there's a much bigger alt Americana sort of scene over there. It would be great to get over there. Like, a lot of radio stations too I've been getting a lot more love over there from radio stations than in Ireland, to be fair. And I've even got some reviews from people over there.
I've seen it. Yeah, it's
stuff,
great.
And a lot of the DJs are going, "Oh, are you going to do a tour over here?" I'm like, "Well, at the moment, I haven't got a fan base to do a tour, you know.
I haven't got a fan base."
But it's something that would be really, really cool to do. Hopefully, when I get the EP out, that will be the vehicle to drive that
that maybe I can go over and do a really small tour in some small venues. And I think my music, I'm not looking to play massive venues anyway. I want the intimacy so I can get the songs across.
Exactly. And then, it's always better, this kind of music, when you've got that appreciative listening audience. But yeah, it's true. I mean, there's people, you think of people like Sturgill Simpson and people like that who have broken through in a really cool way, playing some pretty pretty obscure kind of country music, you know, and it's great. And particularly, I mean, we've had experience in Germany and France and places like that, and again, very kind of clear. They have a bit of a clearer understanding of what it is. And
I think that's probably, as well, because they don't have country in their countries like we have. Like we have Irish country. Yeah. Like there isn't really a French country scene, or a German country scene. It's if you're hearing country there, it's probably real country that you're hearing.
It's probably classic country, and and there's just such a great tradition of. I mean, one of our favourites is. His name Johnny Paycheck is a incredible you talk about songs about murder, and he's got a great song, Pardon Me, I've Got Someone to Kill, and even George Jones had his real dark tunes and stuff like that. It's like it's a really important.
There's more sincerity to it.
Yeah,
I think that's sort of what's missing in the area. There's no sincerity to it. It's just it's pop driven. It's music to dance to, and that's it. Like, and there's unless there's a beat behind it, they're not. You know what I mean? It's just like people go, "Oh, play something I can jive to," and you play it, and I couldn't jive. I was like, "Well, it's because you can't jive unless you've got drums. It's your problem."
Learn to jive.
Yeah,
bro.
Learn to jive, man.
Up your jive game, get good. Yeah. But also, that's the thing as well. Is it's also a very covers driven industry. And when you're a creative artist in terms of being a songwriter, and again, I don't mean to be overly harsh, because it's a form of entertainment. It's a form of light entertainment, and it's great, and people love to go see these shows and they enjoy it, whatever. That's really cool. But at the same time, if you're a person who it's important to write songs and to share stories, you might as well be working at any kind of day job. Do you know what I mean? Than doing that grind. And so, I wish you all the best with it, basically. But also just make sure you seek out all those sources outside of Ireland as well. And whatever you can in Ireland, obviously.
I think my philosophy on it is like, whatever happens. Like I've no intention of I want to be famous and I want to be playing Madison Square Garden. That's not what I'm in it for. I write
next
songs.
minute Madison Square Garden rings you up. It's like, nah, I'm good.
He didn't want it. We heard already.
We heard the radio show. It's all good. We were about to, but
like, damn it, put the phone down. But
I will get Kevin Hart back. It'll be fine. That guy's funny. All right, so go ahead.
That's like, I'm not in it for that. Like, it'd be great if you could make a fortune and be a millionaire and whatever. But I'm in it for I write the songs for me, and then the thing that I love the most about this scene or doing the music or whatever is if I play a gig and one person in a bar, it connects with them and they go, "Oh, that song, that was like," or you're playing in a bar and you're able to quieten it for 2 minutes because you know that the people are listening. That's amazing. Like, so my big aim is, it'd be great if I could just pay the bills with it. You know what I mean? That I wouldn't have to do the 9 to 5 job. Of course, just play my songs as a thing, and I'm not looking for Grammys in Madison Square Garden.
You know what I mean? But that's it, and that's the only way to approach it. Because I'll be of the opinion that the people, like, because look, that's the part of it you don't control. The only part of any situation you control is your your action in it and your opinion of it. So you can only have that attitude. And it seems to be whether success in a big way follows or it's more of in a personal or interpersonal way with a few people or 10 people or 100 people or 1,000 people, it'll only happen with that kind of attitude, where you're writing genuine songs for the love of it and for the ability to share that. You know,
I think it's honesty is the word. Even when we were recording the EP, it just kept coming up because we were doing songs. Should we do it like this? And it came down to, this is how I feel about it. If people like it, brilliant. If they don't, well, I can only be honest with myself and be me. And I think just being honest going forward, this is what I expect out of it, and I think people thrive off seeing honesty, whether they know that's what they're saying or not. I think when you see an act in somewhere and you're going, oh, and you get the goosebumps, and you're like, I think what you're picking up on there is their honesty, because you can see they're talking about something real. Maybe the story's fake, like they've gone out and shot somebody, but there's an emotion behind it.
I thought that one was true.
You know, my lawyer said I shouldn't have about that.
Madison Square Garden's hanging up again, you know. But no, I know exactly what you're saying.
Like, so then I think people pick up on that live, and I think if you get one person in a room every once in a while that can feel your honesty and go, I can understand what they're talking about on some level, emotionally even, and you just pick up enough all those one people eventually all add up until you've got 100 and so on, and it's a long haul game. You got to have thick skin.
Then we kill them all.
Yeah.
Sorry, wait a minute.
We bring in the Kool-Aid then, and then drink the honest Kool-Aid.
I love the way that ended. Sure, look, I know exactly what you're talking about, and it's great to hear that. You know, listen, I could probably talk to you all night about this kind of stuff, but the show only goes for an hour, and I can only talk to you for about 15 minutes. I think we've done just about that, but let's just talk about, first of all, a gig you got coming up, which is on the 11th of May. This is the Acoustic Yard Festival out in Westport, Mayo. 11th of May, do you know what time, or what's the best way to find out
May,
about that?
I think I'm on around, 5 in the evening, and the festival's on around the whole town. There's outdoor gigs, there's indoor gigs. Mine is an indoor gig, which I'm really happy about, because it's a lot better. I don't want to be on the back of a lorry, like, you know, singing quiet, soulful songs, like, you know, when people are going past with prams and balloons and things. I don't think it'll work. So it's indoors. It's in a venue called Blousers in Westport. I think it's around 5 p.m. that it's starting. Yeah. And there's 2 or 3 other acts on along with me. I'm not sure. I'm feeling really bad now. I can't remember the names. But there's a few acts on, and it's, you know, that's the deal. If you're in and around Westport on the 11th, brilliant, come and check me out. You know,
do indeed. You know, we're going to hear a song now, which is the most recent single released off the self-titled EP coming out. Dean Maywood, of course, being the title.
Not self-titled, as Al had said earlier on.
So that's out. Of course, the EP's out in May. But just tell us a little bit about the song that we're about to hear, because we'll hear the other track later in the show. But the Knowing and Lying.
Knowing and Lying, it's more on my folk side, I suppose, on my folk country side, or alt folk, or whatever you want to call it. It's got that sound of, I think, Springsteen, sort of Nebraska era type stuff, really stripped back. I was trying to create images of lonesome plains, you know, cinematic sort of thing. The concept of the song really is about lying, obviously, but not. It's lying to people when you know the truth.
Consciously,
You're consciously making an effort to lie, not to just, I'm going to lie to you, but because the truth isn't going to help anyone out. Like, you know, when someone's asking, where are we going here? And you go, I don't know. And you know where you're going, it's not good. And you don't want to freak them out, so you may as well just lie to them until the inevitable happens, you know? And the song cycles through this. It's sort of a story of if you can pick up on it, there's a family, sort of. So verse 1, the guy's talking with his wife, possibly, and she's like, what's going on? And he's like, I don't know. And things aren't going good. Second verse, he's talking with his son. He's like, where are we going? Where are you going? I don't know. Are you coming back? Good. Oh, of course I'm coming back. You know, that kind of feel to it. And then we get to the end, and he's asking himself, where am I going? And he knows ultimately the answer isn't, he's not going anywhere. He's not going home, that's for sure. But he's still lying to himself, going, I don't know where I'm going. Although he knows. Like, you know,
God, it's a real, again, you know, George Jones kind of springs to mind, like those really kind of, that pathos and just interesting concepts, but very real concepts, you know, that are very relatable as well. Very, very good.
We lie to ourselves on a daily basis.
I don't, but, you know, everyone else does. I lie to myself when I say I'm not cool. That's about it. Right. Listen, thanks so much, Dean, for taking the time and coming down. Absolute pleasure to play with you finally and to meet you. And I'm sure it won't be the last time. Really looking forward to the EP. We'll be sure to give it a spin when it's out. And for everyone at home, get online, Facebook, Dean Maywood, Instagram, Dean Maywood. You will find this gentleman and find his very fine music. And do enjoy this tune. This is Knowing and Lying. And thanks so much, Dean.
Thank you.
did life begin? When did life begin? Scarlet snow behind an empty gun. Your dreams are returning home to a wife and a son. Where am I going? He wonders crying. There is not known, and there is a lion. There is not known, there is a lion. When every day is as hard as the last, just a means to an end. Dear God, when does life begin? When does life begin? Life begin.
Fantastic live rendition of the recent single from Dean Maywood there, Knowing and Lying. Wonderful song, very evocative and reminiscent of the greats like Bob Dylan, Neil Diamond. Neil Diamond's
Neil
great.
Diamond.
But Neil Young, of course, I tell you what, it's been a long day. But yes, next up we're going to have
Neil Diamond, Bob Marley, you know.
Bob Marley, Neil Diamond, Neil Armstrong, Bob Ross,
Sagan.
I don't know, Bob Sagan. So we're going to have a listen to a bit of Kerry Fearon. Kerry Fearon's working on some great new music at the moment. We're really looking forward to hearing what comes out from Kerry. But she joined us in studio a little while ago, not too long ago, and we did a great rendition of this tune, This Town Gets Around. So do enjoy this live rendition we did with her, and do keep an eye out for some of her shows. She's going to be doing loads of gigging over the next little while with Ags Connolly and those guys. So this is Kerry Fearon with This Town Gets Around.
In this town, everybody trying to get a piece of everybody else. It gets hard to tell a real friend from a fake one. So many promises, favors, and lies. Small southern city wears a big disguise. Even I too have been known to wear one. Well, as the saying goes, it's not who you know, but it's who to grow. But that was then, this is now, and he told me this town gets around. What I found, this town gets around.
Awesome, energetic live music there from Kerry Fear. And ladies and gentlemen, it has come to the time where it is basically the end of the show once again. We've got time for only one more tune. We're going to listen to Leon Chapelier and his Lone Star Cowboys do a lovely rendition of the Travelin' Blues, the old Jimmy Rogers song. Is there anything you'd like to say before we say goodnight?
Well, I'd just like to thank all of our listeners and our friends and family for sticking with us through... What episode is this?
Let me tell you, 97.
97 episodes. Wow. Man, that's been a long time. The amount of hours of us just talking complete
nonsense. 97. Well, actually, no, because there's a lot of quality music in between the nonsense,
fortunately, I think that's why people listen to the show.
So there's probably about 40 hours of nonsense in there. 30 or 40 hours, that's a lot of nonsense. Listen, ladies and gentlemen, this is the end of our nonsense for tonight. We will catch you again next week on Rhythm and Roots, near FM 90.3, Fridays at 4:30. Take care.
Good night.
Had a dream last night, thought my good gal had gone. Woke up this morning, she had really done me wrong. Lord, I know it's not fair, but my good gal had done caught air. I'm going away, I'm leaving today, I'm gonna bring my sweet mama back. If that 8-wheel driver don't jump the railroad track. She's been trifling around, but now she's done and throwed him down. Let Mr. Rainwater. Yes, yes, yes. True, my baby's gone. I know it won't be long. We'll be on that train. I'm gonna bring her home again. She's been trifling around, but now she's done and throwed him down. Thought I'm going away, leaving today. I'm gonna bring my sweet mama back. If that 8-wheel driver don't jump that railroad track. I'll take her from that man. I'm gonna bring her home if I can. Now let's swing it, gang, yeah.